Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to another Indie Game Friday, where I take a look at independent computer role-playing games. This week, I'm taking a look at a, mostly tactical game with RPG elements based on a tabletop game franchise. Developed by Auroch Digital and published by Ripstone, Achtung, Cthulhu Tactics was released back in 2018. Achtung, Cthulhu Tactics is a tactical combat game based on the tabletop RPG game setting, Achtung Cthulhu, with a combat and scenario system akin to XCOM, where individual units can be improved and advanced through skill trees with experience. As such, it revolves around a series of tactical maps and encounters in an overarching campaign. In terms of plot, it is World War II, and both the Allies and the National Socialists have harnessed the powers of the supernatural in a secret backdrop to the war. You lead a squad of Allied forces behind enemy lines to investigate and put a stop to the occult goings-on in National Socialist territory, with not only the future of the free world, but also of humankind itself on the line. When you create a game, you name the campaign and then select a difficulty level, from easy, normal, hard, and mythic. You can also select whether you want the tutorial to run as you play. You are then dropped into the first mission, where you learn the basics of the game and recover the other two members from your four-person squad. The game consists of two parts, the squad management section and the mission selection of the headquarters, and then there's the actual tactical operations of each individual mission. In the headquarters, you have your squad arrayed on the left-hand side of the screen, with a selection of potential missions on a map in the middle, with each mission described on the right. Missions come in two formats, either side quests or story quests. Story missions advance the overall campaign, while side quests are only available during particular parts of the campaign. When you select a mission, you are given a brief rundown on what the mission entails, what the specific objectives are in that mission, as well as a list of potential gains. Each mission may unlock new gear and equipment to outfit your squad with. Squad management is done by selecting your squad members on the left. Each squad member has a set of stats in their dossier. Defenses are luck, health, and stress. Luck functions as temporary hit points, which are depleted first, restored completely after each combat. A character's health is only restored at the end of each entire mission, or if healed by skills. When a character's health is depleted, they are incapacitated, and if left for that way for long, can be at risk of capture. A character's stress level increases due to rigors of combat. Being injured, attacked by unseen enemies, or coming face-to-face with eldritch horrors all increase a character's stress level, and when it reaches a certain point, they begin to have mental effects from the hardship. Then there's the ranged combat stat block. Each character has damage they inflict at short, medium, and long range, as well as their hit chance for each. This is based on both the character's equipped primary weapon as well as their overall skill choice, so you can specialize some characters for short-range combat and others for long range, at least in relation to their particular weapon's overall range. There's also a crit damage bonus that is inflicted when you score a crit. After this is a character's melee damage, hit chance, and crit chance. Then there's the character's movement and momentum. Movement shows how far a character can move based on their action point expenditure, and then momentum is how much momentum they contribute to the momentum pool each turn. The characters themselves don't accrue experience individually, but rather you have an overall party level based on objectives met during missions. This lets you not worry about neglecting a particular character during play or having them in a more support role. Next is the character's actual collection of attributes. Each character has health points that impact their luck and health, ranged accuracy that adjusts their overall ranged hit chance, melee accuracy that adjusts their melee hit chance, leadership that boosts the amount of momentum they contribute to each party each turn, willpower that adjusts their maximum stress points, and then speed that affects how far they can move for every 2 action points spent. The character's passive and active skills are listed here as well. These are based on the particular character in question and whatever skills that you've unlocked for them. The Loadout tab lets you select the character's equipped weapons. Each character can equip a weapon mod, and an item. Characters may only select from weapons that they are allowed to equip. Each weapon has a damage rating for each range and a 2 hit bonus for each range, which determines the best effective range a weapon can be used at. They also have an attack cost in action points, a crit bonus, a clip size showing how many shots they can fire before they need to reload, and a reload cost. A weapon may adjust additional attributes and may allow for its use with different character skills. Individual weapon mods and items have their own descriptions and effects listed on an item-by-item basis, and weapon mods can only be equipped to a particular weapon that they are compatible with. Finally, each character has a skill tree or skill ring.
You get a set number of skill points at certain missions and levels, and each skill unlocked around the ring costs more and more to unlock, starting with a character's base skill and then branching out, generally in 3 different ways. You can also retrain these skills if you aren't satisfied with your character's overall build, but this can only be done once every several missions. Once you're done managing the party, you can go out on a mission. Before you confirm deployment, you can make last-minute changes to the party's loadout. You are then dropped into the mission once you select launch. You get a quick briefing before each mission that details what to expect while it's loading. Once in the mission, you are presented with an isometric 3D view of the world broken up into tiles. Your mission objectives are in the upper left and may change as the mission proceeds. Camera controls and options are in the upper right, although of course the camera can be controlled through the keyboard or gamepad. On the left, you may select and review your characters, while each character on the map has a display with their current health surrounded by their current luck, as well as their current action points. In exploration mode, the game is not turn-based, so you can freely roam around with your active character. All your inactive characters will automatically follow along. You select a spot to move to, and if a tile has a particular investigation or interaction available, you can click on the icon to execute it once you reach the tile in question. As you proceed about the map, the Shroud of Darkness retreats according to your character's line of sight, and then closes again while they've passed an area. This is actually pretty important since so much of this game depends on characters being able to see what they're actually doing. When an enemy detects you, or you detect an enemy, you enter into turn-based combat. During each turn, you may select any of your characters freely on your turn to act, and may even break up a character's turn to allow another character to accomplish something in between actions. Each character has a set number of action points to use during their turn. These are consumed with movement or using skills or attacks. The party as a whole also has something called momentum that is accrued during the start of each turn and can be used to fuse skills and special attacks, or to allow extra movement above and beyond a character's limit. A character may move to any tile in range, and the number of action points it costs is listed. Your destination tile may also show if the character perceives cover in a particular direction, represented as a shield icon. Once you've reached your destination, you can also select a facing. Your facing determines what the character can see, represented by their reveal cone. Enemies are only identified when they are within range of your reveal cone, and revealing an enemy improves your chance to hit them while reducing their chance to hit you. Furthermore, enemies attacking you from outside of your character's reveal cones are able to deal stress damage to the character that they are attacking, so it behooves you to get a bead on enemies whenever you can. A character's actions are listed along the bottom of the screen, along with their costs and action points. Once selected, you can also see the chance to hit as well as any potential viable enemies. Some attacks are limited by range and may be limited by line of sight or ammo as well. Each selected character will give an indication as to what icons that they can target with particular attacks. Some skills have little gold chevrons in addition to, or instead of, an action point cost. That means that these skills cost momentum. Momentum is a shared resource within the entire party and is gained at the start of each turn based on total party leadership, as well as being accrued based on skills of certain characters. It also carries over from turn to turn, so you can accrue quite a bit of it. Once your characters have each used all of their action points, or when you're satisfied with their position and cover, your turn will end, or you can select End Turn to turn the order back over to the enemy. At that point, all activated enemies will get their chance to move and attack, just like you did. Between combats, your characters will automatically reload their weapons and restore their luck, and allow you to move onward through the mission. Once you've accomplished a mission's goals, you are then given a debriefing screen where you can see what you gained, what experience you've earned, and then you're returned to headquarters to manage your party and select a new mission. So overall, it's pretty standard XCOM-style gameplay loop. Work on improving and outfitting your characters, go on selected missions, rinse and repeat. How does it stack up, though? Graphically, it's okay. It's got a cohesive art style that is pretty slick for a relatively low-budget title, being the result of crowdfunding some time back, if I remember correctly. The models and environments are decently realized, although there's nothing particularly special. The music is a mixture of atmospheric with a splash of 40s-era radio while you're in the headquarters area. The voice acting is alright. In fact, I'd say it's pretty decent, except for a few somewhat awkward instances, but again, nothing spectacular or stand out. I'd say that the interface and gameplay is pretty tight and relatively well executed, but there are the occasional awkwardness bits within it. Once you get used to it, though, it's about as fun as any other tactical-style squad game. If I had any complaints, it'd be in the relative lack of depth regarding the headquarters area and the limited number of missions. Now this may somewhat ease later in the game, but from what I've seen, it just doesn't have the same depth that some XCOM style games have in this regard. That can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you're looking at. If you like the Achtung Cthulhu setting and are looking for something in that vein, this game does it really spot on though. I've seen far, far worse attempts at converting a niche tabletop RPG to a computer game. This one's actually in the upper end of that range. If you're looking for a tight, modest, tactical game and are a fan of the overall setting, then you really can't go wrong. I personally believe that it's actually worth the relatively modest asking price completely, but if you're kind of uncertain, you can keep an eye out and you can probably find it as part of a bundle or on sale pretty often. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up here. As always, I'll put a link to where you can pick it up below. This has been the RPG Crawler with Indie Game Friday, Actung Cthulhu Tactics. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like, comment if you got any feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content, both tabletop and computer. Until next time, take care and goodbye.
And if you're still watching this far, I'd like to take a moment to thank those who have supported this channel via Patreon or direct donations throughout the years, without which this channel could not have lasted as long as it has. For those who are feeling particularly generous, you can still support my work through Patreon and now through Subscribestar as well, through the links in the description below.